Hi, I'm Maddie Grant, and I was one of the organizers of the Untech Conference, which grew out of the canceled Technology Conference. And I'm here talking to Reggie Henry about the association point of view, lessons learned from the conference.
Yeah, I think we learned several lessons. One is that, and the most important one from my perspective, is that this association community takes care of itself. And we've got a strong technology contingent in this association community who can, when need be, stop and turn on a dime and produce something of decent quality for the profession.
Yeah, so let's talk tools. Obviously for the conference we had to think about a website, the live streaming, and Twitter, obviously.
Right.
Did you have any thoughts about, from the tools perspective, did you see anything you hadn't really considered for the technology?
I don't think I saw anything that I didn't consider, but this conference did, as a lot of conferences do now, converged all of those tools to form a whole. And so most of the communications was done via the social media perspective. But then we had good old traditional websites up, pushing content in there for people to use. And then finally we had a face-to-face component of that Untech conference as well. So the convergence of all of our tools, I think, produced something really quickly of decent quality for people to use. And I think it was good for people to see that. This happened in the span of 2 days. And it was a 2-day conference. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was. So what about the virtual component? So obviously as a planner for this conference, we were very aware that most people were not going to be in that room.
Right.
What do you think about how that went?
I participated on Friday, and obviously I was with you guys Thursday in the face-to-face thing, and I participated on Friday. And a couple of things struck me, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I could feel that some of this was done pretty quickly, quite honestly, but that's to be expected. But it also proved to me that things don't have to be perfect all the time for people to learn. I think we get into that place oftentimes when we're planning things where we overplan and overplan and overplan, and people want to learn. People want the stuff. And if it's good stuff, they'll work around the other non-good stuff, like the technology issues that come up.
What about the virtual aspect in terms of planning for maybe next year's technology conference? Do you think that there might be some scope for doing some really exciting virtual stuff specifically?
Yeah, one of the things that we're doing actually prior to the conference was planning from an organization-wide perspective, what our take's going to be on virtual conferences. And so we're thinking about that, and we're probably thinking about hybrid conferences more than we're thinking about just plain virtual conferences right now.
Yeah.
Having a virtual piece to our conferences, that we think that's going to be our best strategy. So I can't say for sure because we're not completely done with our planning and strategy yet, but I'd be surprised if in the future you don't see more of that from us, where we have a hybrid conference, which would be really easy to switch over to full virtual if it was necessary to do so.
That's actually a great point, because obviously it's very rare, but the whole reason this happened was because we had to cancel the conference because of the snow. Right. So it's almost like a great backup option.
Yeah, but it's not lost on me though that one of the reasons I go to that conference, and I know you too, is to be with people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And to see people and to have those quiet conversations that you can't necessarily have online, or loud conversations, as the case may be. And I'm also mindful of. That conference has become very important to the technology vendor community, and their face-to-face time and their ability to get leads at that conference. So that's not lost on me. But I don't think we're far away from figuring out how to do that online as well. And that's one of my challenges is to try to figure that piece out.
Cool. So final question, are there any plans to reschedule technology conference for this year?
There are a whole bunch of conversations going on about exactly how to address that right now, so I don't have anything specific right now, but I'm sure we'll be making an announcement pretty soon because we've been thinking about this hard.
Cool. Great.
Right.
Thank you, Reggie.
Yep, thank you.